welcome to another super exciting episode of Unusual Unis. First off, I want to say thank you to all my subscribers, my returning subscribers, every one of you out there that shares and likes and comments on my show. I want to say a very big thank you. And yes, I know I haven't been here for a while. It's been kind of tedious for me. And did I mention that I just finished my own movie production? The movie is called Beyond the Pale. It's an amazing cinematic beast. Watch out, Beyond the Pale. Okay, so first off, I know you guys are seeing me for the first time with a guest here. So before I say anything, my name still remains Eunice Mambo. And with me, I have Caroline Michaels. How are you, Caroline?
I'm fine, thank you.
You look beautiful in your polka dot.
Oh, thank you.
I like that.
I'm trying to learn from you.
Oh, wow. Okay, so before I go further, first off, I would like to wish every one of you born in the month of April. I want to wish every one of you a happy birthday, long life, and prosperity. Well, I wish I could mention everybody's name, but I don't know that much people born in the month of April. But I have a few people that I would like to mention them. I would love to celebrate them. I would start with Akim Ogumilade. Akim Ogumilade is the CEO of X-Frame Media. He's an amazing man. As a matter of fact, he's a blessing to anyone that, you know, accept his friendship and his goodwill. And then Tammy happens to be the production manager on Beyond the Pale. Happy birthday, Tammy. And I also wish you a happy birthday, Tristan Clouds. A happy birthday. I wish you long life and prosperity. Tristan was the first AD on Beyond the Pale. And not forgetting my Benjamin. Happy birthday, Benjamin. Okay, so Benjamin is a theater actor and also an amazing chef. I mean, every time he just puts things together, it's always, I don't know, it's always a pleasure to taste his food. Happy birthday, Benjamin, and I pray that you grow to become bigger and a better version of yourself. Okay, so well, today's episode of Unusual Unis, oh wow. When we get there, you know exactly why I have Caroline with me in the house today. But before we get there, do not go nowhere because I will be right back. Welcome back. Okay, first off, I was saying to someone recently, Caroline, I said, there is something about Nigeria. That's why I keep singing the song, Which Way Nigeria? I think it's just a country that set up people for madness or some kind of craziness. I don't know if you agree with me. Why am I saying this to start with? I remember vividly how it is for you to board a bus in Nigeria. For you to get on the bus, you have to run and jump on the bus. Now, for you to alight from the bus, get out from the bus, you still have to jump out of the bus. Nigeria is the only country I know in the world that practice that kind of craziness. Absolute craziness. And you know, talking about craziness, a whole lot of things have been happening. I mean, every time I open social media, there's one thing or the other that blows my mind like, oh my God, what is this again? Which will bring me to, lately, I was watching Pastor Johnson Suleiman, when he said in this pandemic, he was able to buy his third private jet. Third. Let's hold it right there. Third.
Yeah.
My first question is, was he bragging? Or you can't tell me that was a motivational speech. There was nothing motivational about that. The whole world is in an economic recession. Nobody knows what's going to happen. You come onto the pulpit on national TV to tell us you just bought your third private jet. You must have millionaires in your church that don't even have problems.
Sure.
Because the only reason why people the Bible says, bring your tithes and your offering into my house, so there will be meat in my house for the less privileged, for the hungry. What do you have any other job, sir? If I may ask you, what other job do you have for you to have the third private jet? I mean, that's why Caroline is here. Caroline and myself, we said we share the same faith. I'm a Christian. I'm a follower of Christ. I want to, as much as I can, do everything God has asked us to do, because that's what brings us close to Him. But my question is, even Jesus Christ, He never even had a donkey.
Yeah. So, at this time, talking about Suleiman, yeah, actually, I think it's becoming like a big thing, right? For the Nigerian pastors, so to say. I'm a Christian. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to go against you being rich as a Christian or as a Muslim. No. But I am only against this very particular thing. You buying a third private jet in pandemic, then coming out to say, oh, I just got my third private jet in this pandemic. I watched the video, right, where he said, and later he said, oh, okay, it was a slip of tongue, that he made a mistake for some certain things, that he was only trying to explain to people that even in this pandemic, you could still make money. But I am actually against it in the sense that we have enough people lavishing in poverty in Nigeria. And don't also get me wrong, I'm not trying to say, Oga Suleiman, sorry I have to come in this way. I'm not trying to say you have people you help. But then, now, come to look at it. What do you want to do with 3 private jets at the same time?
Do you know how much it costs to pack one?
Yeah, but we're meant to understand that packing one of the private jet costs, I think, a lot of millions.
A whole lot of money.
Okay, now you have 1, you have 2, you have 3. I don't know, is that what you use in taking your church members, maybe from Auchi to Abuja, or from because sometimes, I felt so bad about it, my dear brother. You are a pastor, honestly, yes, touch not my anointed. That is not to say we shouldn't talk about the right thing. We are all anointed. Let me tell you, I am a child of God, as in to the core. But I go against this because, 1, you could also open a company with that same money to get people employed. Because in Nigeria, as we speak right now, I think we have a whole lot of graduates, jobless graduates.
Even in his church, I suppose.
Roaming on the streets of Nigeria without job. You could still open a company with the money you use in purchasing your third private jet. And you spend a whole lot of money in packing them. 3 private jets, my brother. Okay, 1 for your wife, 1 for yourself, and maybe 1 for your kids. Then where are we going? Where are we going? I know you came up with a video recently. Oh, you don't care about who like you, who doesn't like you. My friend, you care about. Learn to be conscious when you're talking, because you're always coming out with your videos. Oh, sorry, I didn't know. It was a mistake. It was a mistake that I made. Then you come back to apologize. Oh, you are a human being, you are this. No, you are a pastor. You should be able to conscious yourself. Be conscious of whatever you say. And moreover, please, my brother, if you don't have anything to do with those money, go and sell your private jet. Leave one at least. Because you want to be recognized as one of those pastors with private jets. If that is what you want, fine. Take the other one, build a company. Let production be going on in Nigeria. Let us see what is going on, because you pastors are no longer encouraging human beings. I'm just going to put it that way, not just
you're depressing
you're depressing us.
You're depressing
You're making the young Nigeria, the youth, to go into something else just to make money.
When you come on the pulpit and brandish your brand new private jet, which we all know cost a huge fortune. What exactly are you saying? Which also brings me to the other day I was also watching Daddy Freeze, and this pastor from the Genesis Church, the pastor that had issue with a lady recently. So Daddy Freeze was interviewing him as to how it's been for him so far and after he left him. First off, he said he was called, God called him, God called him, God called him. And then he goes, oh, do you know why I do not go to the stream like every other select pastor or white garment church pastor, what they do? Well, it's because I'm a very short man. I don't want to go to the stream or to the river and drown.
I think
I was in awe.
Something is...
You were called by God. So your God, are his hands so short that he can't save you if that peradventure that happens? So when you say things like this, or when pastors like you starts to bring in bodyguards and soldiers and mopo and policemen and what have you, I now start to ask you, you say God is my protector. How come he can't, if he's indeed a protector, if he can't protect you that serve him immensely, like I see, how can he even protect me? What message are we sending out there?
Okay. I think in that, the case with Genesis, I'm trying to say something that I think it's a general thing all over the world. Everybody open a church and they bring in their own doctrine. Sometimes they don't even go with the Bible. Sometimes they will just say, like Deeper Life will say, oh, this is my doctrine. This is how you should worship God in my church. And the other one will say, oh, women say, oh, this is how I want it to look like in my own church. Redeem said this, and Church of God Mission will say this, and somehow you now look at the whole thing like, what is going on?
Like there's a division.
There's a division. Now, being a celeb person, because all the celebs we've known all the while, of course, we know them, Kerubu and Sele, they are this kind of river kind of people.
Yes.
That is where they go to bow the demon out of people's head. And all that. Now, if Genesis, I think he has nothing to say here, because if he actually wants to tell us why he does not go to the stream or to the river, to the sea to bait people, I think he should be able to come up with something that has to do with Bible to defend himself. If you are a seller, you are a seller. You cannot change the fact that you are a seller.
So even when you're short, you can build a swimming pool and baptize people.
There are so many seller pastors Olusho that are very short that I know, and they still go to the river, to the sea. Even Barbich, of course, Barbich was at a time seller place. So I don't know why yours should be the different one. Anyways, anyway, because I think he has his own is a special kind of celedo. Because we had Wasi one time to play in his I think Thanksgiving, what they call it. So many times he go to the Muslims whatever and say, oh, let us not condemn this. Actually, I do not condemn people, but the seller that we know how they operate. Your own, anyway, I think I'm trying to see something here. You are operating in a kind of underground kind of operation. That's what you're doing. You don't just want people to put that in you because, okay, from the outset, you told people that, oh no, I am not that kind of celeb that does this, that does that. Now, you should get something more, I think more serious, should I put it that way, to convince us that this is why you don't go to the river or to the beach to bait people.
I mean, if you say God called you, and then you tell me you're too short to go to the stream,
that same God can protect you from anything. Because, like, we learned that, okay, whale can't even swallow a human being, right? But that's the blue whale anyway. But we understood that the sperm whale could actually swallow human being. Now, I'm just putting it that way. That Jonah got into the stomach of what's it called, the whale, and after how many days or how many weeks, he came out again. So if it is that same God who has called you Genesis, that same God will protect you from anything. If you actually go to the sea, or if you actually go to the stream, to the river to bait anybody for any reason, if it is God that has led you to do it, that same God will be out to protect you.
He says, I am the Lord God of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me to do?
So, nothing. Of course, nothing. So, I think Genesis, on his own part, sometimes I don't want to comment about so many things, because I know they have a way of saying, Pastor, you're not supposed to talk to pastor, you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that, leave judgment for God. You know, we had a kind of long leave this judgment for God, leave judgment for God, and things are getting worse, most especially in Africa, so to say. And Nigeria is the headquarter of all the corruption.
And all kinds of
madness. As in, leave everything for God to judge. And some other guys will just came up with something, caught up with someone, a lady, you know, use her for whatever thing, for whatever reason, and dump the lady, leave it for God. They will use the lady for ritual, leave it for God. As in everything, we are busy living everything.
A father is sleeping with his 7-year-old daughter. You say leave it for God.
As in, there are places where you're supposed to take action, because God is not going to come down to fight some certain battles for us. There are battles God has left, because if there was no battle for any man to fight, I don't think he should have asked David to go to war with anybody. So, Genesis, because I'm only saying all this because trying to let you know that there are things God allows people to do. Now, you as a short man like me, because I'm very short. Now, like me, you are a very short man, right? You can't go to the stream to bake people or baptize people because you don't want to be drowned. So, Genesis, we will leave you at this time to please confess to us who has given you the power.
No, I'm not really about it. It's just funny to me.
No, it is funny.
It's really not about what power or no power.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
For me, it's like...
Yeah, for me, I'm just trying to tell him that, okay, let us know where you belong. Because God cannot give you any power, and you're still scared of ordinary.
How can God call you and then you say, "Oh, you're scared"?
You're scared of even to baptize someone.
And you stand on the pulpit telling people how amazing and awesome things God can do. There is nothing impossible for God. And then you come out on national TV to tell us you were scared of drowning. That was why you had to build your own personal swimming pool behind your church. Nigeria is the only country that does things pretty much differently, insanely, if I may say. And then in the society, it's accepted like it's normal. A lot of things are not normal. It's just that we've come to accept it as a norm. Anyway, speaking of drowning, this week we have another story for you, which is actually another very sad one. People travel to other countries. I would say Africans travel to other countries to seek for greener pasture. They go to other countries they deem better than theirs, where they can at least become something, where they can at least actualize their dreams. Today's story, it's a very sad story that happened here in Ontario on the 12th of February 2021. a man named Ashiru Sarafa. He's a personal support worker. A personal support worker here in Canada is also known as a home health aid assistant or certified nursing assistant. All they do is when we have old people or people that cannot help themselves, they're always there to help you and assist you with your daily life and your daily routine. Ashiru, on this fateful day, his clients wanted to go to the swimming pool. Now, prior to this time, when Ashiru was employed with this company, they gave him a form to fill. In this form, one of the questions asked was, do you swim? Do you know how to swim? For whatever reason, Ashiru said yes, he knows how to swim. So on this fateful day, on the 12th of February 2021, Ashiru was asked to go with his client to the swimming pool. Prior to this time, when Ashiru told them initially he could swim, they said to him they were going to give him a 72-hour training to be quite sure that he can swim. A training which they never gave him. Now, secondly, in the form he signed, every swimming pool they take their clients to, they will always have a lifeguard. On this particular day, there was no lifeguard. Ashiru took his client, they both went to the swimming pool. Everyone I know, I'm not saying everyone in the world, but everyone I know will jump into the pool from the shallow end. Ashiru's client decided to jump into the swimming pool from the deep end. You know, sometimes when you tell a lie, maybe you get confused. You don't know when you act stupidly. Whether he knew how to swim, whether he never knew how to swim, whether he could not swim from a deep end, I don't know. And now, so jumping into the pool, the client swam down to the shallow end and got out of the water. Ashiru was there, struggling and struggling and struggling, and died in that pool after 3 hours. This is a very sad story for me, because at this point, someone said, oh, he shouldn't have lied about it. But also the form states we're going to give you a 72-hour training, which was never given. You're sending someone, okay, now let's assume it's not even Ashiru. How about your client? Anything could have happened there. You let someone handle another person's life. For me, that's very unprofessional. And this man has a wife and kids back home in Nigeria. I'm bringing this out here because I want everyone that could shed light on this. And any form of justice we could get for Ashiru, we want to get it for Ashiru. I just feel like crying. I am also an African. I am a Nigerian that have come here to Canada to also live the Canadian dream, to be a better human being, to be able to carve a niche for myself. Pretty much every one of us out there. No one signs a job because they want to die. It wasn't like he signed a job in the military where you know either way 50-50. No, he signed a job as a personal support worker to help somebody else that is not able. Are we just going to sweep this under the carpet? Shouldn't we have like Nigerian Canadians that would take up this? I am still trying hard to reach out to his family back in Nigeria. This is the first time I'm shedding light on this issue. Your comment today is highly paramount. I want to know what you guys feel or what you think we should do. And well, one of the reasons why I have Caroline here, as Caroline herself is also in the health sector. So what do you think about this, Caroline?
Well, I think this is where the Nigerian Association of Canada, so to say, have to come in. Because when things like this are happening, I know so many people, they were like, oh, he or she wasn't a member when they were alive. Because of that, won't be able to carry out or help anybody and all that. But this time around, it is not all about you helping financially. We're trying to let you know that there are some situations where you need to actually come out to say, yes, we are Nigerians. If you are a true Nigerian, this very guy that just died, something must have transpired. Before now, I think every one of us, I mean, whomever have or has access to this very company where he worked, while he was alive, I think this is the right time for you to actually like go in there, find out what must have happened. The training he was promised to give, was it given before taking his client down to the swimming pool? If it was not given, then you have to ask a question. Why was it not given? Because to every one of us who live in Canada, as soon as you get to Canada, they tell you to go and get Canadian experience. Getting Canadian experience enables you to work anywhere you want to work.
So
in a particular field.
Even if he said he could swim,
they
would still tell him they needed a Canadian swimming experience.
Yes. This is how it is being done. So if that was not in place, then I think the Nigeria Association of Canada have to stand up for him. You have to stand up for him. Let this company know that they can't just get away with that, with whatever must have happened. Leaving a client in the hand of a man that you don't even know how good he is when it comes to swimming, I think that is another unprofessional thing they've done there. It is really, really unprofessional. I am in the health sectors too. And what I do, okay, like assisting the clients, whatever they want to do and all that. Now, even before I got into that job, I was trained. This is what we want you to do. This is what we want you to do with these clients. You know, they don't just give you their clients and say, oh, okay, go and take care of him. No. So, if whatever must have happened to this very guy, Ashiru, please, stand up for your brother. Stand up for your sister when the need be. And this is the right time for you to stand up for him. We're talking about life. Life is gone for this. Because he went there to work, looking for his daily bread, to help himself and his family back home. And now he is gone. So we are not too sure about what happened. These 72 hours.
But what we know,
yeah.
He struggled for 3 hours before he finally died in the pool.
Okay, and where was his client?
And then you tell me the client swam out from the other part. The client didn't look back to see that his personal support worker was drowning. Do we need to pull out cameras from there to find out what exactly happened? I'm just saying we shouldn't just let this be like every other story about one Nigerian being killed or being stabbed to death. Or come on. It's really a very sad story. We demand to know exactly what happened in that pool with Ashiru. Who were the people present there? Why did they watch this guy struggle and struggle for 3 hours before he finally gave up? Do you know how painful that is?
It is very, very painful. This is the right time. Now, why not even before this time? What have you been waiting for? Let them know that, oh, there is a voice. There are voices that could speak when something happens. Because I know some Nigerians will say, I'm here for myself, you know, let me use a normal, you know, and on my own I come, you know, I'm not there for all those ones when they talk, so.
But the thing is, it could have been anybody.
It could have been anybody. That is what we don't seem to realize sometimes. Anything can happen to anybody at any given time.
Yeah.
Please, our brothers and our sisters, let us at this time, if there's anything you can do to make sure you find out what actually happened before any other action is carried out or is being carried out as it is. So we need to know. Let's go to the company. Let's do our findings.
Or if you also know anything about this story, please, the comment section is below. Let's just know whatever you know. And whatever you think we can do, let's also know. And we're still going to make sure we go deeper and deeper to let you know as things unfold bit by bit. I would suggest that we go check the camera wherever the swimming pool they went to, check exactly what happened there.
Yeah.
And then ask, why would you send someone out to go do this? You're giving someone, and you're placing another person's life in the hands of someone that does not even have the expertise. And you didn't care to find out whether or not that person had the expertise. And then you take your client to a swimming pool where you didn't find out if there was a lifeguard.
I think there's an issue here. Something has to happen. As in, they really need to find out what.
And then it took 3 hours.
Because for him to have struggled for that 3 good hours, it means, I mean, there was nobody there in the swimming pool and nobody around at all. Even the client was not there. He or she could not even raise an alarm that, oh, this person is dying or something. My personal support worker is dying and all that. So I think something needs to be done. We can't just sweep it under the carpet like, oh, after all, it's not my family. No, it could be your family tomorrow. And it could be me. It could be anybody, man. Because life is just one. You don't know. Like I was at work the other day, of course, my clients, as it gave me a very hard punch, you know. Yeah. And what if I had actually losing one of my tooth or something? What would I have said? Nothing. That would be the end. Maybe they will go get me one artificial stuff and just fix it in. So it could be me, it could be you, it could be anybody.
Even punching you, he would have punched you somewhere differently, and then it would have been another story right now.
So that is how it is. So please, I think we need to do something. Let us do our findings. Let us know what must have happened to him. If they gave him that training or not.
What we're saying exactly is we need justice for Ashiru.
Ashiru, yeah.
Ashiru deserves justice. We need justice for Ashiru to do exactly what happened in that pool. And the company should be responsible solely
for it. That's it.
He didn't set up to die. He didn't join the company to die. He only came joining them so he would also share his own, whatever he's hired for. He didn't sign up for death. Which brings me to this. I understand that most times we listen to motivational speakers that say, you know what, even if they tell you, can you do something, tell them you can do it, and then you go into it and you learn. Please, if you cannot do something, you cannot do it.
Exactly.
Filling a form saying you can swim when you can't swim, you should not have done that. This goes to every black man out there, every Nigerian out there, every African out there. I know we all listen to all sorts of motivational speech. Hey, hold your horses. If you cannot, let people know you cannot do it. Exactly. Nobody is going to arrest you or charge you for you not knowing how to do something. I know that most likely the job was made for someone that could swim. And he wanted the job.
He wanted the job.
But at the end of the day, look at what happened to him.
Life is
Look at what happened to him.
So he's no
job is worth your life. Another lesson we black people should take away from this. I know black people, we hate to read. They just give us some forms, we just sign it up. We just sign away our lives, we sign away whatever. We shouldn't be doing that. Take your time to read so you know what it entails. When you're appending your signature, you actually know what you're appending your signature to. Anyway, it's been a wonderful time with you, Caroline Michaels. Thank you for joining us in the studio today. I'm really excited about your 1 and 2 paints you dropped here. I hope for some of us out there, myself inclusive, will learn 1 or 2 things from what you just said. Thank you so much for coming. And for my viewers out there, thank you so much for joining us today on another wonderful episode of Unusual Units. Until I come your way again next week, remember, the pandemic is still out there. Please try as much as you can, social distance, and wear your face mask. Till I come your way again next week, I love you guys.
Thank you. Bye.